Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Lesson 2, Safety Hazards. 1. An inspector is inspecting a factory. Write sentences from his notes. These are the notes. We will write sentences here. Okay, 1. Liquid on floor. There is some liquid on the floor. 2. Hole in the outside door. Let's say there is a hole. There is a hole in the outside door. 3. No fire exit. No fire exit. Let's say there is no fire exit. There is no fire exit. 4. Broken window. Let's say the window is broken. The window is broken. 5. Cables on a bench. Cables on a workbench. Let's say there are some cables. Some cables were on the workbench. Workbench. No fire extinguishers in the factory. No fire extinguishers in the factory. Let's say there are no fire extinguishers in the factory. There are no fire extinguishers in the factory. 7. 2 machine guards missing. Yes, 2 guards missing. Let's say 2 machine guards are missing. 2 machine guards are missing. 8. Some damaged warning cones. Some damaged warning cones. Let's say some warning cones. Some warning cones are damaged. Some warning cones are damaged. 2. Use phrases from the box. These phrases with might or could to complete these warnings. Okay, we will use these phrases. Burn your hand, fall into it, get an electric shock, injure your head, start a fire, trap your hair in it, trip over them. Okay. 1. Mind that lighted match. Mind the lighted match. You could start a fire. You could start a fire. 2. Mind that cable. Mind يعني انتبه للكيبل. انتبه لذاك السلك. Mind that cable. You might what? You might what? You might get an electric shock. You might get an electric shock. Mind the cable. You might get an electric shock. 3. Mind those bricks. Mind those bricks. You could what? You could trip over them. 4. Mind that machine. It doesn't have a guard. Mind the machine. It doesn't have a guard. You might trap your hair in it. 5. Mind the gap. You could what? Mind the gap. The gap. You could fall. You could fall. You could fall into it. Number 6. Mind that low beam. Mind the low beam. You might injure your head. Injure your head. 7. Mind that circular saw. It's very hot. It's very hot. You could burn your hand. You could burn your hand. 3. Complete the inspector's report about the hazard in a factory. Use each of the words or phrases once. There was, there were, was, were, to, no, some, the. 1. There were no fire extinguishers anywhere in the factory. Okay, there were no fire extinguishers anywhere in the factory. 2. There was food and drink on the workbenches. There was some. There was some food and drink on the workbenches. 3. Some boxes of parts on the stairs. There were some boxes. There were some boxes on the stairs. 4. God on one of the machines was broken. The guard on one of the machines was broken. The guard on one of the machines was broken. 4. Some oil on the floor. There was some oil on the floor. There was some oil on the floor. Number 6. Of the windows were broken. 2 of the windows were broken. 2 of the windows were broken. 7. The fire exit was locked. Was locked with a padlock. 8. There was no key. There was no key for the padlock. Thank you.